There's a peasant on YouTube who plays Gwent with a strange name, Liza.
The one who made the ridiculous and boring song about the mill deck?
Yes. Can you come explain to this peasant how to play Gwent with a real deck?
Greetings, Witchers. Today, for this special video, Edward III graces us with his presence to help Liza play Nilfgaard.
Absolutely. Today I have decided to share my superior knowledge with you, the peasants. And for that, I do you the honor, even if you do not deserve it, of welcoming the Grand Duke of Sintra, the richest in the kingdom, but also a great and peerless strategist, an incomparable man whose renown
That's enough, Edward. Peasants have no education. They don't know what prestige is.
The North shall tuck tail and beg for mercy.
For this first round, Liza will
Deploy Alba pikemen. Then use Emir var Emreis to play Alba armored cavalry at the first opportunity. Then, Van Moorlehem's servant can be used to copy the locked status to other targets. Masquerade Ball and battle stations should be saved for future rounds. Finally, Ardfinen should be played on the second turn, so it can be used until the last round. Nothing complicated, even for a peasant.
My father is also an exceptional teacher, known throughout the world.
Yes, I know.
There is but one punishment for traitors.
Alba! Attack!
The loss of Emir var Emreis is terrible, but when I see that the opponent has already used his ability, this loss was useful. Aggressive, but without tactics, without patience, typical of the savages of the forest.
A relevant analysis. There's nothing more to say.
I know.
Have you seen a fuse lying around?
The kitchen presents its finest yet.
I think Liza
A
should...
peasant does not think. A peasant obeys.
Liza's characters are getting worse and worse.
You haven't seen my incredible and wonderful mother.
As good as dead.
That's enough. Now, it is better to save this hand for the rest of this game.
Slaughter them to a man!
Listening to the valuable advice of a great Sintra strategist is a sign of intelligence, Liza. Congratulations.
Mine to die! I'll do so sword in hand!
Save Masquerade Ball for the last round. A great idea. Impressive. Well, the opponent will play first, and he has one card less than Ryleza, so it is very likely he will pass quickly. Burkhart, Menno Cohorn, and Battle Stations are the priority cards to play during this round, in order to get as many cards out of the deck as possible, and thus have a better chance of drawing the best cards for the last round.
It is likely that the opponent is playing a dragon deck, so he won't have a choice but to pass due to his disadvantage.
My incredible deck has a lot of control. The opponent doesn't stand a chance. Plus, Imposter and
Van Hemar will be perfect against Willentretten Mirth.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
You are both equally impressive.
The Empire will be victorious.
I never miss.
I was right.
A
A
dragon,
dragon
deck.
deck.
I was the one who said it first.
The final round with Masquerade Ball, Felipe van Morlehem, Imposter, and Van Hemar will be fatal for the opponent. Well, nothing complicated for this last round. Masquerade Ball must be played first. Then the two thirsty dames must be deployed immediately after. Next, Philippe van Morlehem will come to educate the opponent. Then Usurper Emperor will be played last. Imposter and Van Hemar will be used against Willentretten Mirth.
As usual, an incredible strategy, a guaranteed victory.
I know.
Ryleza, what are you doing? Do as you are told. Don't try to think for yourself.
Don't ask a lady her age. It's unbecoming.
The opponent will do everything to avoid the poison. A classic situation. What a shame all this poison wasted because of a peasant who refuses to accept his fate.
Never had your kneecaps broken.
Mr. Duke of Sintra, I have a question.
A question. Make me laugh. I'm listening.
Your son introduced you, but what is your name?
Your brain must be smaller than a dwarf's. I am Edward II. You should think before you speak, peasant.
It makes sense.
Dwarves don't have brains.
I know.
Tell me what you've got.
A devastating blow. Thanks to my valuable advice, Ryleza has just won. I hope the opponent is angry or desperate. You know, the scent of victory.
Wash this blood from my hands.
Now, my dear Ryleza, you can say that at least once in your insignificant little life, you played a real deck.
Rules for those who would otherwise incinerate themselves.
The peasants of the north, an easy victory.
Edward, too. I smelled the scent of a rotten and corrupt aristocrat nearby. I wasn't wrong. You seem to have emerged from your glass castle, for once.
Queen Eva, you are alive. How is that possible?
Everyone has their own secrets.
Impossible.
Nigh when all shall behold my beauty.
Well, against a patience deck, winning the first round is crucial. Masquerade Ball is ideal for this round. With the scenario, the priority is to deploy the two Thirsty Dame quickly, in order to boost them as early as possible. Plus, Relizza should save Emir var Emreis and Philippe van Moorlehem for the next rounds.
That's exactly what I would have advised.
My, the Van Moorlehems, they truly spoil us.
Drinking can be hazardous to your health.
Another devastating strike. Relizza isn't used to playing with such a powerful deck. Far superior to the green creatures of the forest.
It is too early to declare victory. Patience is a virtue. It is no surprise you don't have any.
Against a patience deck, the more patience the student mages have, the more powerful the alumni will be.
Edward, too, giving advice. What a corny joke.
Tell me your secret. How do you still live?
You will never guess.
So, shall we warm up with a fire spell?
We have each other's backs. That's more than most.
I think Relizza should...
Relizza should use Arcane Tome to take the opponent at his own game.
That's what I would do too.
My dear Ryle, aren't you tired of these two?
The last video with you, Queen Eva, was a breath of fresh air. Thank you for caring about me.
The pleasure is all mine.
Oh, smoke. Bang. Kaboom. Shit, how'd that go? You've met your match.
It is clear that the opponent is playing not to lose. Relizza must keep up the pressure until the end if necessary. Victory isn't about winning. It's about traumatizing your opponent, or humiliating him.
This is how Edward II became Duke of Sintra.
Magic must remain in worthy hands. Our hands.
To die by your side, a pleasure, a privilege, an honor.
Excellent. I hoped for a chase.
The opponent played Chapter of Wizards in the first round, which guarantees that this location won't be in game in the final round. Good news for Ryleza.
A bad move by the peasants of the north.
Classic.
Why use a sword when a drop of poison will do the trick?
Well spoken, Edward III.
I know.
Words mean nothing now.
The northern peasants have no strategy, but I must admit they are tenacious. However, I never felt any satisfaction in defeating the weaklings of the north, as I only appreciate victories against worthy opponents.
Now that you are beginning to understand what it's like to be a superior being of Nilfgaard, be vicious. Play your 3 cards in order to force your opponent to waste his cards.
Nothing changes. A rat will never become an archgriffin.
Tools for those who would otherwise incinerate themselves. Target acquired.
We have each other's backs. That's more than most.
You would make a good Nilfgaard, Ryleza, as a servant.
Folks say we live like princesses. If only they knew.
Nothing complicated for this last round. Alba Pikeman is deployed first. Then, Van Morlehem's servant will be used with Imposter and Alba Pikeman to copy the bleeding and lock effects, and thus be boosted. Usurper Emperor will be deployed last.
I need sleep. Another test, so soon.
Snowdrop. This is the perfect target for Imposter.
It pleases you? I'm delighted to hear it.
Well done, Ryleza. Winning with a Nilfgaard deck and 2 Nature's Mistakes. That's quite an achievement.
Coat of arms is nothing you choose. Dare not mock mine.
Rage Quit. The greatest victory of all, Ryleza. Savor this moment and feel superior to your opponent. And never say GG. Unless you lose to Nilfgaard, of course.
Now you know what it's like to be a superior being of Nilfgaard, Ryleza. You know it, but you will never become one, of course.
I wonder what the mother might look like. Oh no. In the end, I prefer not to even think about it.
Now, false queen, tell me, what is your secret?
Very well. If you really want to know,
I am cursed.
You are worse than Princess Ada. Countess Eiliz is probably behind all this. Again.
Thank you for watching, Witchers. Like and subscribe.
This old, dirty-blooded aristocrat mentioned my name. It seems I need to prepare for my comeback. Laura, prepare my vampire deck with Regis, the Magnificent.
Yes, mistress. All for your pleasure.